I know for a fact that within 3 miles of where they are, there's a Piggly Wiggly. I know this. Judging by the giant house, the airplane, and the runway right in front of it all, it seems that Mark has plenty of money to go around, but it is not quite enough for Mina. Or is it? And Maddie seems to be very appreciative of the American culture, but Stevie doesn't seem to want to cut him a break when he gets a little overwhelmed. It's getting interesting, and we are only in episode 3. It's ridiculous, but we'll get to all that. But first, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you want to support the channel, drop a super thanks, share with friends and family. I definitely appreciate all the support. Y'all are amazing. As always, let's get right into it. I will not keep y'all waiting because, good Lord, there is plenty of content to go around. And let me tell you something, none of them are not without their issues. But damn, some of them are worse than others.
So long, you know?
Yeah.
Like 2 years.
What? I mean, this is right off the bat, and we're acting like we're in middle school. It's like, hey, baby, it's so weird. Like, dude, you're almost 60 years old. I get it. You have a small child, but we're not acting like we're in middle school here. I mean, time to have a mature relationship. Y'all got some stuff you got to really figure out. She clearly wants your dollars, and you're clearly acting like you were just smitten and you would do anything with the drop of a hat.
Had some complications that we didn't realize. And so Clayton's going to be staying with Mina's friend until we can get the paperwork sorted out.
All of that has giant issues. For one, passports, take months and months and months to figure out, and yet all of a sudden it had an unforeseen circumstance. Now the child's going to be staying with the friend, but the mom seems to be really upset about it, but didn't have a problem leaving instead of saying, hey, we might need to figure this out because I'm not going to leave my child behind. Yeah, it all screams gold digger.
No, you don't take this, okay? I think you coming soon.
Uh-huh. Soon. Yeah, okay. You tell him that.
Et sincèrement, pour l'instant, je n'ai aucune idée quand est-ce qu'il va être là.
You literally are telling him it's going to be soon, and then in the next breath, I literally have no idea. You had no idea when he would be able to get here, but you left your son behind with a friend. What kind of mother does that?
Clayton, je suis désolée, mais je te promets, maman et papa sont en train de travailler, ta date ici
So
aussi, elle travaille,
again,
d'accord?
for one, he asks about why the passport is taking so long, and what does she say? Nothing in reference to what's taking so long, because there's never an explanation. It's just mom and dad are working on it. Also odd, you already have him calling Mark his dad, but in reality, we have nothing about his dad, and you're just kind of jumping the gun at that. So this all screams she's angling at something. She likes the high life. She likes all the money. She likes everything he's provided. And now she's going to get over there and formulate it for her way of life because all she wants is the nicer things, the finer things in life. And she will never be satisfied.
Tracy, she's a good person.
Oh, good person.
But she's not a mom, you know?
Yes,
you're an amazing mom. I know.
Okay, you're not an amazing mom. You're just not. What amazing mom leaves their kid behind who is clearly distraught with a friend when not knowing when you're ever going to get reunited? And then now you're acting like you're having second thoughts? It's bizarre. But one thing, I really highly doubt she's going to be rushing back there. She's trying to get him here to secure everything. Now, I don't doubt she's going to be trying to get him to the United States, but she's not that concerned about him.
We're going to be in Mexico for 2 weeks, and it's the longest I've ever been without my babies, and I'm so sad.
You're so sad, but not so sad that you're leaving your kids behind to foster this thruple BS with someone that you met in an interesting place. Red flags abound, and yet you are trying to do something because of your kink that you like. It has nothing to do about a real relationship. Don't lie to yourself and tell yourself that.
I left them that long before.
Oh.
Yeah, I get it.
You're sad about your kids now. We're having a moment.
I just feel horrible.
Oh, okay. You feel awful now. So turn the car around.
I feel like a mom.
I feel like a bad mom. Do you want to turn the car around? No, head to Mexico. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. Look, parents going on vacation, leave the kids with the grandparents. This happens. There's nothing wrong with that. But this isn't what we're talking about here. You are going, basically trying to bring someone else in to mess up the whole dynamic of your family because of your fetish, because of your kink, because you want what you want. It really has nothing to do with the guy. This was all her thing. But the next statements she makes are very interesting, considering the fact that she was very clear she wanted this, but yet then she admits she's kind of a jealous person.
Like, why can't we just be like the normal parents?
Oh, okay. You can. You know what you do? You turn around, you say, forget about this throuple stuff, and we're just going to be parents to our kids like we already are doing. but you're not going to do that because these are crocodile tears you see.
Like, I've always been the jealous, possessive person in the
Oh,
relationship. It's
okay.
the Middle Eastern in me, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it's just me. So I
think it's just you, but yet it's kind of normal because you're talking about actually being intimate with another person and letting him be intimate with another person.
I would like to be kept in the known. Like,
oh, okay.
if you had any conversations with her that, you know, maybe I wasn't part of, if like, or you
oh yeah.
started feeling some things that I wasn't part of, like.
Okay, so she's basically saying, I need to know everything at absolutely all times when it comes to you and this other woman. But I guarantee she's not going to do the same. But this is because she knows deep down that you're bringing another woman in. There's always the possibility of someone catching feelings. She doesn't care if it's her. She would leave him in a heartbeat. If it was her and she liked this other girl better, she would leave him in a heartbeat and not think twice because she has no heart. Sorry, but she doesn't. But if it's him, the jealousy would take over because it's really fear of missing out, because then he would get the girl, but she wouldn't. She really has no actual, like, I love you, please don't do this, because if that was the case, you would not be doing this at all. You wouldn't be going to Mexico for some random person who has, let's just say, an interesting profession, but we'll get to that.
I was thinking, have you thought any more about separate rooms?
Oh, okay.
I mean, I really haven't, you know. I know it's hard. You know what I mean?
It's hard. Is it?
Concerning for you.
The next thing that she should really say is, oh, I'm sorry, you thought you had an option. No, I'm telling you, you're going to sleep in separate rooms. Because although that seems ridiculous that a 35-year-old man is going to sleep in separate rooms from his fiance, it's his mother's house. He still lives at his mother's house. Guess what you don't have at your mother's house, no matter how old you are? A say. If your mother wants it so, it will be. So I think to do a little power move there, it would be hilarious if she said, oh no, there is no choice here. Oh, it's a nice meeting, except something might be a little off. Like, I mean, it doesn't, does it scream chemistry to you? It doesn't scream chemistry to me. So this could be an interesting one.
I'm glad we're done with this long distance.
Oh, yes.
I'm really excited.
She's really glad that they're done with the long distance until he says, Ma, bring the meatloaf. Name that movie.
I wish I could just take her back from this airport and go home to our own place, our own apartment. And I just worry about, being enough for her and this life being enough for her.
You didn't worry about that at all before, because otherwise you would have taken steps to at least try to be on a better path. Instead, you have no job, you have some things you're piddling around in, and some previews of some future episodes show that you might have had opportunities that you squandered. You still live at home by choice. I get it. New York has some, is expensive in pretty much all areas, but some areas more than others, and it's not always easy to move on your own. But when you're not even showing initiative to get your own job and you act like you don't know what you want to be when you grow up, that's a problem when you're trying to marry someone that you claim to be able to support.
It hurts hearing Maddie say that he could possibly want to go back to Iran, because it's my understanding that if he ever chooses to go back home, he may not be able to return back to the United States.
Okay, but it hurts you to hear him say that? Big problem here, considering he just came from his home country, leaving his whole family behind, but you can't even, at least give him that he's a little homesick when he just got there? No, instead it hurts you, because if he goes back, he might not be able to return. Yes, the government is rough. They don't if they think anything, you trash their government or anything like that, he might have a rough time. But why don't you cut him this slack here, because, my God, he left everything for you, and yet you're feeling a little hurt? Come on.
It's a lot of pressure knowing that I have to kind of fulfill all the voids that he has from leaving. It's also really scary when someone says, if it's not enough, then they'll go back, because
my God, these are all extreme red flags for him. She has latched on to him saying, if I wanted to go back, basically to visit, he didn't even say forever, but to see my family in essence, would that be okay? That's what he said in a moment where he was overwhelmed by everything because he just got to the United States. And yet she took that and it's basically he's going to go back and leave me. And now I have all this pressure on me. Good God, stop being so damn selfish. Cut the guy some slack. He's missing his family. It's simply homesick. Deal with that other stuff when it comes. But right now, just be supportive. Oh, nice. Oh, and the most appropriate dress to be around your significant other's family is Shekinah, with jean short type substance of clothing riding up her butt. Good Lord.
It's the thing I'm worried about the most is us having a bad fight.
Okay.
And I'm like, get out of my place.
Yeah.
What?
And where he is going to go?
Okay, if you're bringing him over to the United States, you can't just kick him out. Like, sure, if there's a big domestic incident, call the damn police. But you're talking about if we just get in a fight and we get in a disagreement, because, you know, they're kind of like oil and water sometimes. You want to just kick him out? He's going to have nowhere to go. You have to think about these things. Instead, she's like, I mean, I know, where's it going to go? I'm going to kick him out. What are you going to do? But yet you were the pushy one for this. He might have been wanting all the control, and he still might in the beginning, but she took the reins on this one. And right now, he is not the one calling the shots. So if you tell him to get out, he's going to be on the street.
Call on them too.
Do you think that your friends will go from their houses?
I definitely have friends that would
Oh my
like
God,
have
you
a
don't
neutral
know him
position.
at all.
Really?
Good. He's basically asking about support is what his cousin is doing right now. And she's saying, oh, I have friends that would be neutral to him. No, you don't. If you have friends, they're not going to be neutral to him. They may be friendly to him, but they're going to be loyal to you. He's going to have nobody. And you need to start being at least a little sympathetic to that and realize that, yeah, he might need to build up his own friends and things like that, but you're not going to be able to put your friends in there and think that, oh, they're going to actually be neutral. But she knows that. She's not dumb. She knows that. She would want that because they would come and tell her if he did anything. That's really what it boils down to.
Because right now, the house will be theirs.
Yes.
But I think she's still feeling that he will visit her home
Yes.
rather than they're going to live in the same house together.
Yes, correct. She is not thinking of it like it's going to be their home together, even though he went out of his way to make his apartment something that she was comfortable with. No, she's thinking, this is my home and I can just kick him out whenever I want if we have a fight. You are not doing this the right way, but she doesn't care. She doesn't care because Shekinah is all about herself. Sarper is too, but he has given more in this relationship to actually try to somewhat seem like he's trying to come and make her comfortable. She's not going to do the same, at least not on the same level.
Need the high chair.
Need the high chair?
The diapers.
Need the diapers?
I messed up.
You didn't get diapers? Like, I mean, I guess I can kind of see being like, oh, I forgot to grab a high chair, you know, even though you probably should have been thinking about that, but you didn't think to get the diapers.
This is the dresser.
You know, it's
This
kinda
is where you
more
took
like
her?
Convenience store. It's small.
What? This is worse than a damn 7-Eleven. You didn't have anything else. Nothing else you could have taken her to.
Oh, Maria.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thank
Find
you.
everything okay?
I think so, but you don't have lamb here, do you?
Lamb?
A what?
Like lamb chops or anything like that?
No,
Yeah.
nothing like
I didn't
that.
think
She's
so.
like, are you stupid? And oh, by the way, there's not a Walmart anywhere. Like everywhere you go, there's pretty much a Walmart within 10 minutes. I have family in very small towns and there's a Walmart within 15 minutes. So you don't have anything of that. You're in small town there. I know for a fact that within 3 miles of where they are, there's a Piggly Wiggly. I know this. I know these things. But you can't even find the Piggly Wiggly to get your lamb chop. Well, I don't know if they'd have lamb chops, but they'd have something more meat-wise.
Can I help you find anything?
This is where he takes her for the
Yeah,
high
so
chair.
They just moved here from France, and we didn't move everything. So we need a baby high chair for her to eat. Do you have anything like that?
Like, well, sir, we do have a nice baby high chair made out of deer antlers in the back, but it does not have the sliding tray. I mean, my God, don't get me wrong. I feel like I could spend hours in this place and buy plenty of stuff that would just be great decor for me as a guy. But for a baby high chair, dude, come on. I know there's a Walmart somewhere. So there's a reason I think you did this to try to see how she would react. And it probably went about how you expected. This is not how you're going to get her to stay there. She's going to have you living in New York or somewhere like that inside 6 months, if you stay together. Every time. You know, every time they roll in with the rap music for Greg here, so I think we're gonna find out like he like is a rapper or something under the moniker MC Yeast or something like that, and he wears like a mask because every time we roll in, we got some sort of rap intro. I can get down with it. We can have a rap dance party every time Greg comes on, but he doesn't scream the type of dude that rap's gonna play in. So he might have a secret life. We might have to investigate that.
was really excited to meet you. You're going to be meeting her soon.
Oh, okay, good,
I'm
good.
excited, but also nervous.
Oh, yeah, real nervous. Okay. But
So we were having a conversation about you
I was just talking to my ma about some stuff.
coming here.
Yeah.
And, you know, one thing we were talking about is just like obviously us getting intimate, making love.
What? So we're gonna be like, hey, ma, put your earplugs in. We're getting intimate and stuff. I don't want you to hear this. Like, what is he talking about? Of course, she's going to be looking at him like he crazy, talking about the bedroom things with his mother. I mean, like, this is a ridiculous conversation. And the fact that he has let it get to the point it has, you're staying in mom's house, you have to obey those rules. And eventually, if you disrespect it, she's going to embarrass you in front of your fiance. And this lady is going to get fed up real quick with all that if you don't figure out a way to get your own place and get your own things.
A separate room.
What? She's like, look, what? Separate room, what?
I'm not sleeping in a separate room.
It's like, I ain't doing that. She's like, crazy yeast man says what? I mean, I don't know what do we do, what the crazy bread man be thinking right now, but I ain't sleeping in no separate bedrooms. Like, she look at him like, my God, you just came out of the insane asylum. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her.
When you go upstairs, nothing happened.
Oh, yes.
Like, I don't know. I just don't want to disrespect my mom in her house, and I completely understand that. You know what I mean?
But you're not doing, I mean, you are if your mom comes to you and says, I need y'all to sleep in separate rooms, what are you going to do? You going to question her and see, or are you going to push back? Time to make those decisions now, because you might develop some sort of giant rift. I'm not saying you should have to sleep in separate bedrooms, but what I am saying is the fact is you're acting like this is your house. It is not, sir. You are 35 and you live at home with mom.
I had to sacrifice
Yes.
to come to America.
Uh-huh.
In Uganda, I had like a life. I'm a director at an NGO, so I have a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
And here in America, I'm like, I'm a nobody. I have nothing.
She's like, I was a director in Uganda. I had all these things. I had a degree, I had all this, and I'm coming to live with Gregory and his bread-making antics at his home with his mother. Like, it all hit her hard. So, and I can't say I blame her.
I really hope that all American snack and food do not taste and feel like beignet, because if that's the case, I think I'm gonna gain so much weight.
6 months later, I made a mistake. Oh, God. Trust me, my man, there's some good food out there. You could eat a single donut with like 2,000 calories. It's delicious, but you're going to put on the weight. I don't care your metabolism, so you might as well go ahead and start checking that now, because if you go crazy with the food here, yeah, you ain't going to be as lean as you are now, buddy.
Night.
You know, having like, do you call necklace?
Like baby beads.
What?
Louis?
He's like, where are the booby beads?
Oh, beads, yes.
Mardi Gras, he speaks of, he's like, when do we get to see the booby beads? She had to explain that to her. This guy, he's like a kid in the candy shop. This is all so new to him, and especially coming from a country where he had to deal with a lot of things where you could get in serious trouble with some of these things. He's like, what? Freedom.
And dancing like on the street,
Yeah.
it just feels weird, because if you do that in Iran, like they can arrest you. You know that?
I mean, she needs to cut him some slack when it comes to him just being sad and kind of taking it all in. This isn't just like coming from another country. This isn't like coming from England. He is coming from a place where he really doesn't know freedom like here. He doesn't know it. He's looking at it all like, oh my gosh, this is all out. All these things people could be arrested for these things. And he's trying to explain it to her, but yet she has no sympathy and simply is like, I can't even understand why you'd want to see your family again. Like, lady, cut him some slack. This is going to be a huge culture shock.
I have to be, I have to be careful about the words.
Yeah.
You can speak freely here. You're in America.
I know, but I'm worried about my family.
Exactly.
It just goes back to the politics stuff, and
It's not comparable.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's not comparable, but what he's saying is, I am not just afraid for me. I know I can say things like here and now and be free. I'm worried about if the government were to take something out of my family because I said something here. Like, that is the craziness he's dealing with right now. He is in a battle in his head. Like, it's got to be tough. So this is going to take even more understanding than just a typical person coming from another country.
I think it's a little overly dramatic because you're a grown man and it kind of seems like
no sympathy.
You're attached to the hip with your parents.
He is leaving from his country to go to the United States, and he's his parents' only son. Like, you don't think that them being a little, and on top of that, y'all didn't tell him till like 5 seconds ago. You don't think that they are at least entitled to a little bit of like, huh? Instead, she's like, oh my gosh, cut the cord. Like, his mom didn't even like go crazy. It was just more like, this is shocking. I'm going to miss my son. She has problems. This lady is extremely selfish, except when it comes to stuff for her. If it's with her, you need to be sympathetic, but not with anyone else.
Was that
Like
normal?
I said, you're a grown-up.
One day Sophie tells you that she goes to another country.
I've raised her to be very independent.
Okay.
Okay, if you didn't have any pause with your daughter saying, hey, I'm going to go live in another country with another guy, like you did, if you didn't have any pause and ask any questions, then you are a bad mom and you didn't raise her right. But quite frankly, you didn't raise her. You sent her off to boarding school. So maybe you wouldn't care because you don't have that same emotional connection. So yes, you saying I raised her independently. No, you didn't. You shipped her off. That's what you did.
The beginning of a new chapter, not the end.
She doesn't care.
How many years? Like 12, 13 years I'm living here.
Forget about them. Who cares?
You hate...
Forget about it. She doesn't care. But yet, trust me, if the roles were reversed, it'd be like, oh, but I've lived here for 13 years. What do you mean? She has no care for anyone else. She's an extremely selfish person and only cares about Shekinah. So this is kind of what you're in store for life, Sarper.
Thousands of girls visited there. I have to make this place a museum, you know?
You're like, we could set up the red ropes and it'd be like museum for my escapades. I'm done now, but it was fun. Gotta love Sarper's sense of humor, good lord. It does get him in trouble with Shekinah, but still funny.
Every second goes by is a step closer to see Ani.
This is weird.
That excitement never goes away.
This is weird.
Every time we're going to see Ani, even if she goes to the store and back, we're excited to see her.
Yeah, it's
Seriously.
really bizarre.
We're like a dog.
Yes.
That is really, like, this is really, really weird. And this is the problem here. Their kids are going to fall by the wayside. This chick is going to get everything she wants from these two, which she already got. I'm pretty sure they pay for a bunch of stuff anyway. And it's just going to ruin several lives, several children's lives. None of these adults give any cares about their kids really, because they're not putting them priority first. Instead, they're putting their weird kinks and fetishes priority first.
I'm from Guadalajara.
Okay, great.
Matt is my boyfriend.
Sure.
And Amani is my girlfriend.
Sure. Okay.
I'm working in the strip club.
And there it is. We finally figured out she's a stripper. They met her in a strip club. Does this seem like something that's really going to go far, or seem like maybe she saw two people and was like, ha, gotcha. I'm going to just weasel my way in there for a better life. And wait till you see some. She does spin this sob story a bit, but then there are some things that make me question.
It enters 6 p.m.
Okay.
And you'll finish maybe 6 a.m.
Long shift. Okay.
When you
Wait, hold on a
finish,
second.
You're so tired.
Wait.
Very, very tired.
Is she wearing a fur coat while she's telling this sob story?
But I will do anything for my babies.
Okay, you'll do anything for your babies, including being a stripper. You have this other couple that I know is paying for some things, and you're wearing a full-blown fur coat, God knows how much that is, but yet you're making it seem like you're just trying to scrape a few dollars together to feed your kids. I don't believe you.
My first
3
son
children.
is 20 years now.
20 years old,
my
probably moved
older
out.
son is
Okay,
11
11-year-old
years,
child.
And my daughter lives with me.
Okay, well, only the daughter lives with you. The 11-year-old doesn't. Interesting.
She's my princess Antonella. She has 7 years.
7 years old. So, okay, you're trying to sell this whole I'd do anything for my kids. Okay, only one lives with you, and just watch the things in the apartment as we show clips. It does not look like cheap things. Also, it's clear who she really wants. Talking about the girl.
Together is look sexy. He's 10.
Oh, he's a 10. But
she's 1,000.
Exactly. This is all about the girls. They want each other, and he is just a means to an end. So, give it time. If this really fosters, he will be weaseled out, or there will be plenty of feelings of resentment.
My ex-boyfriends left me.
Oh, they left you. Okay.
But Amani and Matt stay around.
Yeah.
And I am stay with them.
You're going to stay with them because they buy you things. Guarantee it. Guarantee they're sending you a bunch of money. And yet, you're being a stripper because you want to make a few extra dollars, I guess. But it has nothing to do with trying to feed your kids or anything like you're trying to spin the tail of. Now look at this kitchen. That stove, that refrigerator, the washer dryer, all of that stuff is extremely expensive. These are not cheap appliances. So, I'm just saying that if you're thinking rundown apartment, just trying to make ends meet by being a stripper, this is not what this says. And oh, by the way, she has a nanny that watches the child when she's out being a stripper. Good Lord, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. She's just trying to get money. There's a few gold diggers on this season, that's for sure.
This is obviously the bed.
Obviously.
You know?
You know.
We're going to have to clear this out.
Okay.
Maybe you can help me.
This is the problem I have here. They always do this. It's like they have something, it's like, oh, you're going to have to do this, or we're going to have to clear this, or we're going to have to fix this. Why did you not have the closet cleared out before she got there? It makes no sense. That's something simple you could do. And then she goes on to mention something about his mom, who he admits helped him do what was done anyway. So he couldn't even be bothered to do the little part that was done. It was his mom. This guy has motivation problems, failure to launch problems, and he is going to offer nothing to a relationship in its current state.
Sorry.
This dog keeps jumping on the bed.
She's freaking out.
Yeah.
All right.
She's not happy.
So yeah, maybe this is it.
That's a bitch.
This dog is growling. This dog is like snarling. This is not going to... You better get that dog in check or it's going to bite her face.
Daisy not to be in his mother's house. Us and 2 dogs. And we have to follow his mother's roots. So I think I'm going to need more time to be comfortable with everybody at the house, especially Mrs. Lucille.
You're not going to be comfortable at all, not in this current state. She's coming from a very independent lifestyle, as everything she said, to living in his home with his mother with a bunch of rules like you're in middle school again.
I just can't wait to just hold her.
Oh,
Really,
oh God.
Every day. I don't know.
Mommy. Now he's going to feign a little bit of emotion. So this is clearly a manipulation tactic. He knows damn well that he doesn't plan on sleeping in a separate room. So now he's going to whip up some tears saying, I just want to hold her though, Mommy. And, you know, play it like that, which ends up working. And now he's just going to admit that they're going to follow some of the rules, like keeping the door open. So like they're 11 years old again, instead of just getting some things in order, having his own place and having an actual job, or even if they don't have their own place, having a job. He clearly could have had something lined up before then, but he doesn't really want to work. He doesn't know what he wants to do.
Make her regret the sacrifice she's given to come here. And you know, I don't want her to ever think that it's a waste of time to come here. And
Oh, she's going to think all of that, at least in the initial time, until you better show some progress, because otherwise she's going to be back on that plane in no time.
If she doesn't like you,
Huh?
I can't marry someone she doesn't like.
What?
That's my daughter.
Hold on a second. You are making him uproot his life, and you're saying if your daughter doesn't like him, you can't marry him. Now, that would be reasonable in any given situation, talking about, hey, you got to get along with my kids. I get that part. But you have no problem doing all this. The bags are packed. You're heading to the plane. You're saying, oh, by the way, if she doesn't like you or tells me she doesn't like you, then I can't be with you. Maybe figure that out beforehand. Maybe introduce him before you actually start this process. But no, because she kind of doesn't care about anyone but herself. And oh, by the way, Sarper's like, huh? Okay.
To
Look
think
at us.
about before we leave.
Ah,
You have
yeah.
to think about this
Okay,
stuff.
no problem. If she doesn't like me, it will be a touristic travel for me, and I will come back.
What?
That's how you think about it?
What? What is she talking about? He literally just said, okay, then I guess I'll be coming back. It'll be more like a tourist. And she says, that's how you think about it? What do you want? You are someone who is not happy with any answer. He's saying if it doesn't go your way, you're saying you can't be with me. Okay, I guess I'll have to come back. Instead, she's like, no, you just need to think in terms of you're going to make it work. But what if it doesn't? You know, I don't know if you know this. Teenagers are a little fickle, and they kind of wear their emotions on their sleeve, throw tantrums, and stay stuffed in the moment just because they're upset. So this may not go good. And of course, to close out, Mark cannot seem to understand that he is in a very, very bad situation.
Because, you know, it's my emotion. You know?
Yes, clearly.
My emotion. I come here. I come
Yes.
for my new family.
For my new family. It's like, okay, interesting choice of words there, but you did leave Clayton behind, so there's that.
And this I don't understand why she judged
Talking about his daughter.
The boy.
What? Okay. Well, there were some interesting things. There are some red flags, like, I don't know, she jumped the gun coming over here. You left your son behind. You want to already get pregnant with another child. There are just some interesting things. And oh, by the way, she had some issues when she was over there, which we'll get to.
I have followed with Jordan.
Oh, yeah, okay.
She's my
Okay.
and he talk to the father. He don't like this. Why he don't talk to me direct?
Because there was more to it than that. Sure, you can have a picture. Sure, you spent a little bit of time together. Her issue was that you disappeared completely, didn't even come to the last dinner, and she's like, that was kind of rude. What's going on with that? And by the way, anyone can say, hey, sit next to this person and take a picture and look happy. That means absolutely nothing. So you acting like everything was all good, I'm sure she was cordial with you. And that really goes to show more of her character she was trying. You disappearing and not spending a dinner with the family on the last night they were there was wrong. That was you. Take responsibility. But you won't.
No, it's not my impression. She say, I'm not sure. It's some snake.
She's calling his daughter a snake.
I'm not sure she love my dad. My dad
yes,
is
reasonable.
To stay with this girl or not. It's coming just for the green card or not. You understand me?
Okay, she didn't say your dad is stupid for staying with this girl. She said she has concerns. And yes, she questioned whether you just come for a green card because it's a reasonable question with your actions.
I'm going to the bed.
Ah, yes. Storm off like she likes to do.
You don't come in the bed, okay?
Yeah, sleep on the couch in your own home.
I'm very serious.
I'm very serious. Good Lord. And then, oh, by the way, she says, call Jordan. So this is a temper tantrum is what she's having right now. Nothing more than a temper tantrum. She is just showing that she wants what she wants. She wants him all to herself. She doesn't have any business, or she doesn't want his kids anywhere near him, especially if they have anything negative to say, instead of just like, oh, they're asking questions. It makes sense with everything. The dad has a lot of money. He's got all these planes. He's got all this. And all of a sudden, this random person he met in Paris has a kid with him, wants another kid, comes over here, leaves Clayton in the other country. There's a lot of questions that are reasonable. Instead of being like, yes, I see where you're coming from, but let's see if we can get to know each other. She's upset because this is messing up her plan potentially. She's worried that Jordan's going to get in her dad's ear and pull away. And she can't have that because it messes up the whole plan of getting everything she wants, living this luxurious lifestyle of a guy who can fly her anywhere on private jets. Oh, can't have that. So that's what this is. Clearly, unless something drastically changes, this is nothing more than a gold digger situation, and her plan is quite possibly falling apart already. But we'll see. It's definitely going to be an interesting season because we have some really interesting couples. They're definitely upping the ante as they keep needing more for entertainment with our thruple. So that should be fun continuing on. No one seems to really put their kids first in this, which is, typically a parent thing, but they seem to have issues. We'll see where all that goes. Of course, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you want to support the channel, drop a super thanks. Share with your friends and family. I definitely appreciate it. We are growing, and it is thanks to you, and I appreciate all y'all's support, and I will see y'all next time.